When you think about businesses like Allbirds or Skims that are selling through the roof, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But what's often overlooked is the business behind the business that makes it all possible. For millions of businesses, that's Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. With Shop Pay, you can boost conversions by up to 50%, meaning fewer abandoned carts and way more sales. Whether your customers are scrolling online, strolling through your store, or browsing social media, Shopify ensures you're ready to sell wherever they are. It's no secret, businesses that want to grow, grow with Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/DAX, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/DAX to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/DAX.
Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I am the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal. My wife and I, along with others, investigate everything paranormal in nature. Every week, we will discuss everything from creepy haunted locations to ghosts to Bigfoot, UFOs, Dogman, and other cryptid creatures, and explore all things paranormal in nature. So tonight we're going to be talking about the brown lights in North Carolina. They're considered like ghost lights. If you've ever seen the Saratoga ghost lights or you've seen a ghost road or whatever, these were found around 1910. Nobody really kind of knows what they are. There's a lot of theories that there may be Cherokee lanterns, and it's basically the women out searching for their men who lost their lives in the Civil War. They could be aliens or UFOs, or they could be something else. So Jonah is going to come on today and talk to us. He witnessed these lights in person. These I'll show you where this is. This is kind of a viewing area. I don't know where he was, but he can tell us about that. And these are out in North Carolina. My brain's not working today. Anyways, Jonah, tell us your story. What were you doing? What were you looking for the lights? Were you just kind of out exploring? What were you doing?
Yeah, so I had found them just on a kind of a random Google search. I was just looking for more hikes to do in Western North Carolina, and that sort of popped up and immediately piqued my interest. So, my buddy and I were driving back from Virginia to Florida, and we stopped to hike to the top of Brown Mountain, and camp up there just to sort of see what would happen. The mountain itself is not, it's nothing to write home about. It's 2,000 feet. It's an easy hike. It's one you really wouldn't do unless you were, looking for, the lights. So we get to the top, and it's really just a patch of woods up there. Yeah. There's really nothing special about it other than, these mysterious lights. So we're heading in, and we're kind of looking for a place to set up the tent, and it's there's no campsites. You just got to find a spot basically that's clear enough for you to do that.
Right.
And it was kind of awkward once we were up there because it's so unassuming, and it was kind of after a long week, and neither of us said it to each other, but we're both kind of thinking, like what are we doing here? What are the odds that something's really going to happen here?
Yeah.
So it was weird. So we find a spot to set up the tent, and we're inside, and we're kind of just trying to kill some time. The sun is just setting, and we're just playing cards. And my buddy, he goes outside to use the bathroom, and that's when I hear him say, "Jonah, get out here now."
What time was it? About what time?
This is right as the sun is just about set. There's still some light out. And so I come out of the tent and he points off into the distance into the woods, and there are some lights out there.
Wow.
And so we just sort of stand there and try to figure out, first you're trying to figure out, what it could be, if it could be, I don't know, something something normal, so I don't know,
Right.
cars off in the distance or flashlights or house lights off in the distance. But as the sun kept setting and it kept getting darker, more and more lights started appearing all
Wow.
around us.
Were they moving? Were they stationary?
No, there some, they were all sort of doing different things, and once they were all there, there was just hundreds. There was countless lights.
Wow.
Some would be floating. Some would shoot up in the air. Uh, a couple very unique ones around the tent were on the ground, and they were different shapes. They were different colors, and he and I just stood there probably for, I don't know, at least a good 5 minutes, just silent with our jaws on the ground in disbelief.
Yeah. So they came up right to you?
Yeah, yeah, we were. I'd say the closest I got to some that night were, I don't know, maybe 10 yards away. Terrible. I'm a
Yeah.
terrible judge of distance, but
Did they
um,
seem like they had an intelligence to them? Were they
yeah.
kind of
One in particular. There were three lights that night that were unique to me from others. Two of them were these little, almost campfire lights. They were like a stack of little fireballs on each side of our tent, like the exact same distance away.
wow.
Yeah, to the point where I was like, all right, that's not coincidence. That's
Yeah.
And the most unique light I saw that night was uh, I saw one off in the distance a little ways, kind of on its own, and it had a really weird movement to it. So I got about, like I said, I don't know, 10 yards away, and I'm looking, and it looks like a lantern, and it looks like it's hovering at the height that someone would be holding a lantern.
Wow.
And I watch it go behind a tree and back, from the other side, and then it just sort of wanders off into the woods, almost like it's lost, like it's not sure where it's going. It kind of weaves in and out of trees, and it was definitely the eeriest that I saw that night.
Like it had an intelligence to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's really strange. Now, you said, did they have colors? I'm sorry, I don't remember what you said about colors.
There were different colors, yeah, like all different colors, different shapes, and a lot of them, if they weren't moving too much, they had this way about them, almost as if they were bobbing,
Hmm.
like as if they were in water or something.
Hmm. That's strange. So they're just free floating around.
Yeah.
You said there are different shapes. What kind of different shapes did they take?
Well, the specific ones that I like, because when this first went down, what actually happened, my buddy kind of, he didn't handle it well.
Oh,
He actually went back in the tent.
hmm.
His dog was with us too, so his dog stayed with him in the tent, and I,
Yeah.
I was I had to go explore and
Hmm.
immerse myself in this. So I went off sort of towards the biggest collection of lights that I could see,
Okay.
And these ones were just sort of, they were all over the place. They were different colors, different
Weird.
shapes, doing different things. And I got the sense that I was only going to be able to get so close to them,
Hmm.
specifically from the lantern. Because when I first went up and got to the lantern, like I said, about 10 yards away, um, just to see what would happen, see how close I could get.
Wow.
I took one step closer and the lantern moved back away.
Huh.
And then I noticed that. And so I moved back to where I was. And then the lantern came
It came
back to where
back.
it was. Yeah.
Nice.
So I kind of took that as, all right, it seems like I'm only going to be able to get so close. And I was cool with that. I respected that. So, um, but what a night. What a
Awesome.
night.
So how
Yeah.
how long did this last? It kind of started at sundown.
Yeah. So I I told you I went out one time and I just sort of I found this fallen down tree, um, and I just decided to sit and take this all in for a while because I mean, as you can probably imagine, the mind is racing a mile a minute with
Right.
so I did that for a while and then I sort of I was worried about my buddy because he wasn't handling it well. So
Right.
I decided after a while to go check on him, see how he was doing. So I went back to the tent, and um, he and his dog are kind of just laying there calmly. And I asked him how he's doing, and he's saying, I'm all right, and the only reason I'm not completely freaking out is because you and my dog seem perfectly fine. I was like,
Yeah.
and I tried to calm him down. I was like, you know, everything was fine regarding the lights. Like there was nothing negative whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was all it was I was loving it, to be honest. So um let's see, I went back out one more time and I think that's when I encountered the lantern.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something or show you something?
it really seemed lost.
Oh,
It really seemed lost. And it had this way of moving, like it was trying to find its way through the trees. And I didn't see any other light that night that looked or acted or moved like that. It was very unique.
like it came to you for help or something.
Yeah, and it was one of the closer ones to the tent. So that was definitely that, and the two little, like I said, the two little campfire lights. So what I did was I think I told you earlier, like all I had on me, this was 13 years ago, almost to the week right now, 13 years.
Okay.
All I had on me was a flip phone, and so I tried. I didn't think it was going to do anything because other than the lights, I mean, these woods, it's pitch black. You can't see anything.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I tried snapping a couple pictures, and there was a couple times where I'm holding the phone up towards one of the lights, and you can see the light, but then I would take a picture, and nothing would come up.
Wow.
And so once I realized that, I just to save the battery, I was like, all right, I'll just shut the phone off.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how long I stayed out. I knew like we had to leave pretty early the next morning because I actually had to I had to work in
Oh,
Florida the next day that
oh,
night. So I didn't stay out as late as I would have liked to. Uh,
right.
I knew I had to get some kind of sleep or at least try. So after a while, I went inside the tent um, to try and lay down. And as I'm doing that, I looked down at my jeans, and I can see my phone glowing through my jeans.
Crazy.
And it had been shut off,
Yeah.
and it's glowing to a point where I'd never seen it glow like this. Like, I mean, it was a little too bright. And I pull it out and I look at it, and there's this there's there's a really, really bright but black screen with countless white numbers and letters
Huh.
just scrolling down as far as it'll go.
Huh.
And my phone had never done anything like this before,
Like a
and never
code.
never did. What's that?
Like a code. Like
Yeah,
it's trying to do mathematical code or something. Makes
yeah,
me
and
wonder if it's almost like UFO like. Maybe an alien.
When you think about businesses like Allbirds or Skims that are selling through the roof, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But what's often overlooked is the business behind the business that makes it all possible. For millions of businesses, that's Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. With ShopPay, you can boost conversions by up to 50%, meaning fewer abandoned carts and way more sales. Whether your customers are scrolling online, strolling through your store, or browsing social media, Shopify ensures you're ready to sell wherever they are. It's no secret, businesses that want to grow with Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/DAX, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/DAX to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/DAX.
it gave off. I mean, it gave off that vibe, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
and it
ghosts
had
mess with electronics and stuff like that. But normally they drain batteries or
right,
they like
yeah,
the ghost box. They'll talk through this. You know, you turn
right,
it on and they'll say something through it or try and manipulate it to create a word or a sentence. But never had like letters and whatever else come through. That's crazy.
right, yeah. So
It's very
I
interesting.
managed to get, sort of managed to get some sleep that night. I ended up having four separate dreams that night, and every
Really?
single one of them was about the lights. Four of them.
Wow.
And I kept, I had one of those a tent where you don't have to put the top on, so it's kind of mesh, so you can
Right.
see if you.
Mhm.
So, I'm waking up. I don't know how many times throughout the night, just sitting up and looking out to see what the lights are doing. And I finally must have, you know, gotten a decent amount of sleep because I wake up and I can see that um, it's starting to get light now, and there are two lights left. All of them, the rest of them have disappeared. There are two left, and those are the two little campfire lights on either side of the tent.
Wow. It's like they maybe they get duller during the day or something like that, and you just can't see them, but they're still there.
That's possible.
Yeah. So when you go to sleep, your brain pretty much almost all shuts down, and people don't realize. Because we talk about ghosts, when you talk about ghosts, manipulating your sleep and also demons and angels and stuff like that can manipulate your sleep. The only thing on in your brain is your subconscious. There's no memory on when you go to sleep. So
Right.
usually when you wake up and you're in the middle of a dream, you usually forget it right away. So if you can remember, there's a theory that if you can remember what your dream was and you can recount it and stuff like that, there's a good chance you had communication with some kind of ghost, if you will, or something else. But
Okay.
almost sounds like you had almost like an alien experience with the numbers and symbols and stuff on your phone. I wish there was a way back then you could have saved that somehow or caught a screen, shot of it so we could at least look at it and go, okay, we need to get to a scientist, somebody that can break this down and
Yeah.
tell
Right.
us what this means.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys been up there since?
I have actually. Uh, there's a documentary out that I was a part of,
Cool.
called "I Saw the Light." Um,
Nice.
you can, yeah, it's out on Amazon Prime right now. Um, a few years ago, I wrote the story of my experience, and then I had the idea of a documentary for it, and trying to go back up and see if I could experience it again, except this time have cameras and a
Right.
film.
With the like minute. Are you
Yeah.
guys able to see anything the second time?
Well, you'll have to watch the film.
Oh, okay. Good teaser.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll have to get a link from that from you, and we'll post it in the description down below, guys. If you guys want to go watch that or read his book, we'll get all that information from him, and that'll be linked down below in our description, both in our audio and video podcast. So if you guys are interested in hearing more, this sounds just like the start of a good alien movie where
oh,
these people go out somewhere and have an encounter and get some weird symbols and then return a certain amount of years later.
it could absolutely be a film.
Yeah.
Um, there's some awkward stuff leading up to it. Um, some drama beforehand, and yeah, like it could absolutely be a film.
Nice. So when was the last time you guys went up there?
So
I know you
let's
can't give away too much about the book or the
well, we
movie or whatever, but
I got a hold of the filmmaker and got him on board, and then we did three separate trips
oh, cool.
up back up Brown Mountain, and
Okay.
the last one would have been uh fall of 2023.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was the last time I was there.
So they're pretty, it was a couple years ago, but they're still pretty active, sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. I went back once with my brother, I don't know, like 4 years ago, and
Mhm.
we actually saw, if you're looking on a map and you look due east of Brown Mountain, I think it's Adams
Hold on.
Peak or Adams Mountain.
Let me have that. There we go. Why does it
And
not share? Hold on a second.
yeah,
It does not want to go. Hold on. All right. Oop. We're working on this. We're having technical difficulties. Bear with me.
yeah, no
Okay.
worries.
Let's see. Location window. Let me see if I can get this to share. Nope, it doesn't want to share. Okay, that's what happens when I have paranormal stuff that happens in this office all the time. So
Yeah.
audio clips of other people talking, you can hear the dogs in the background. But anyways, so if you go to Google Maps and Brown Mountain, go ahead, keep going. What were you saying?
Yeah, so I think it's right next door to Brown Mountain to the east. It's Adams Peak or Adams Mountain, and on certain parts of Brown Mountain, you can look over. I mean, depending on the foliage, and you can see Adams. And when I was there with my brother, um, nothing happened on Brown Mountain, but we looked over at Adams, and it looked like the Fourth of July over there. It was
Dang.
it was crazy. I mean, it looked like there was a city up there with all the lights. And I went with the filmmaker twice and camped up on Adams, and there is nothing up there.
Wow.
Absolutely nothing up there that would give off any light.
Huh.
So,
Very interesting.
so I guess they have the lights have other places other than Brown Mountain that they will venture.
Yeah, I wonder if I can get the stupid map to come back up. Let's see if I can get this to share. Still doesn't want to share. Okay. There. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now we're back in here. Okay. So Brown Mountain. I don't know if this will let me move around. Okay, so Brown Mountain's here. What was the name of the other mountain you talked about?
Adams Peak or Adams Mountain should be the one right to the east of Brown.
The east is this way somewhere. Yeah, I can't get this to move, but I can only share my screen. I don't know if people can see this. Yeah, that's very interesting because it's right next to a fault zone here, which is
Okay.
very interesting. Yeah, I mean, the fault could be giving off energy as well. There's a lot of haunted locations and other things that happen, especially UFO sightings along fault zones.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me see if I can stop sharing for a second. There we go. Maybe I can do this again. Hold on. Let me try this again. There we go. Okay, now maybe okay, now we can move this right. Bear with me.
Sure.
Okay. So the east. Yeah, look at this fault zone. Oh, it's surrounded by fault zones. Look at that. See all
Oh
this
yeah.
right here? Can you see this?
Yeah.
That's a fault zone. And this
Okay.
is all fault zone as well. All this. And you
Yep.
see it comes down, goes back up, and kind of swings down through and comes back up this way and goes like this.
Oh yeah.
So you can see all my Bigfoot sightings.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. Let me see. Hold on. Come on. Scroll back in. Oh, there's a different picture of it. Yeah, you can see. So there's where you were kind of hanging out, and here's all these blue things are some kind of paranormal sighting of some sort. So that's interesting. It's right in the thick of a bunch of paranormal activity. Very,
Okay.
very strange. Look at all that. That's
Oh
insane.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's just really cool. That you're seeing all that. I mean, all this whole area is just, it's probably just a paranormal hot zone. Um,
Right.
so it'd be interesting to one of these days compare it to what the Saratoga Ghost Lights looks like, see what's around there as far as paranormal activity. I
Yeah.
know to the west of that, down by the Mexican border, there's a lot of UFO sightings.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think I have very many UFO sightings on here, but this is all Bigfoot territory in this area, especially
Yep.
along these fault zones
Okay.
in the mountains out here, because there's not a lot of people that live out here.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, very, very strange. Okay, so you were talking about the east. Don't want to lose that. Yeah, so it's one of these other peaks probably up in this area, somewhere around here.
Yeah, it's right next door to it.
Yeah, probably closer over here somewhere or whatever. Let's see if we can scroll down. Anybody want to see?
I think there's a road that goes right in between them. I can't remember the name of it. Brown Mountain Beach Road, maybe.
Yeah, I think this is a hiking trail. It might be the 90. It's probably this 90, and you're probably talking about something over here.
Yeah, I just remember there was a road right in between the two.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know
a
if this
river
is
as well.
yeah, Brown Mountain. Yeah, here it is. So here's the ridge, and here's the Brown Mountain Beach Road. So it's
Oh
probably
yeah.
somewhere over here.
Yep.
You guys
Yeah.
probably came up this road here, up here somewhere. Let's see, Carroll Mill Creek Lane. That dumps you off somewhere over here. See if we can zoom in enough to see. Nope. Let's see if our little guy will go down there. Nope. He's like, no way. I'm
Yeah.
not going out there. Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yep. It was a wild night.
Yeah, so this valley here seems to be a hot spot. That's really interesting. So you saw something over here when you were over here. Huh. Well, this
Yep.
sounds really interesting. I mean, maybe some paranormal investigators in the area would like to go out here and check this out. I'm sure there's people that explore it. Um,
Well, normally there's like three sort of viewing points, like on kind of the side of the road, like miles away. Like they're like designated viewing points for the Brown Mountain Lights. But what I did when I read about them, I kind of read that and I was like, why doesn't somebody just hike up there and see what's going on? And so that's what I did, and I was rewarded.
yeah, these two lookouts are not very far from each other. Brown
Right.
Mountain Ridge and Brown Mountain Overlook. This
Yeah.
kind of shows you a little bit more of. This gives you a better idea. Look how forested this is.
Oh yeah.
Has some thick stuff. I mean, you're not gonna go walking into this. That's pretty.
Right.
Yeah. There we go. So I mean, this other ridge is probably what you're talking about right here.
Yeah, that looks like it's one of them.
Yeah. Mhm. This is probably another stopping point. These ridges, these were probably old volcanoes at some point. Yeah, I mean, great. This looks like a great place to explore.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
It'd be fun just go walk up there. Do you guys do a lot of adventures up in this area? Not
I
just
have just pretty much just for Brown Mountain. I actually, my brother and I hiked up Mount Mitchell to begin with, and that's kind of where this all started. We got back
awesome.
from Mount Mitchell, and I wanted to find more hikes in the area, and that's how I came across Brown Mountain.
Nice. Well, it looks like a really cool place to go explore and check out. You guys definitely need to go check out his documentary and read his book. Like I said, the links will be down both in the audio podcast and the video podcast below. I'll definitely get that from him, and we'll share that with you guys. And you guys can go check out his movie and see what it looks like. I'm sure it's going to be cool to relive his experiences and stuff like that. I mean, it's not often that people will take the time to, do a documentary about an experience they had. It's very rare. But anyways, well, Jonah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your experiences with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll have to look for your book and then also watch the documentary and see exactly what happened. I know that's pretty much a mystery at this point. I'm sure there's a lot more juicy details in the story here. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much, Jonah, excuse me. I can't talk tonight for coming on, and we will catch you guys on the next one.